Welcome everyone to Rodian Radio. I am your host Chase, and I'm here with my good friend Danny.
Hello everybody, how's it going?
And tonight is finally back to regular Rodian Radio after these 7 weeks of Book of Boba Fett after shows.
I know, it's been so long.
So it's been so long before we've been able to do a regular show for you guys. So we've got a good bit of Star Wars news here. Before we get into the news, though, I just want to take a moment to appreciate everybody who's been checking us out. Even if you're not subscribed to us, please fix that. We would really appreciate that. We really appreciate everyone's feedback. If you could, leave us comments on our YouTube. Leave us, if your podcast of choice allows you to leave reviews. We appreciate all the reviews. We love seeing everybody's feedback. It really helps us know what you guys like to hear and what you don't like to hear. Even if you don't like to hear it, we're still going to talk about it because that's what Rodian Radio does. We dissect everything Star Wars. So, what else? You can find us on our Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Rodian Radio. I think our Twitter handle is PC Rodian. So you can check us out on there. You can check out our merchandise now available for order on our Instagram. If you want to buy something from us, send me a DM through Instagram and we can go through the details. Not really much more to intro here. You got anything before we get started, Danny?
Yeah, just saying, on top of that, it's not just Rodian Radio where you can ask us, pictures or stuff like that for the merchandise. You can also message me too, any questions that you have, merchandise or anything, any topics you want to talk about. I'm glad to discuss that. Yeah.
We got the email too, rodianradiopc@gmail.com.
Yeah, because honestly, the shirt colors are really good. We're not selling you cheap material. They last you a while, and they're rewashable, and the paint doesn't fade. Especially the sweaters. The sweaters, I literally wear them every day I go to work, every day I go to work, it's comfy, it's good, and it's got the wolf pack. If anything, you just go check it out, we'll give you details and stuff and everything. We're very if you're interested, we'll take the time to talk to you and everything and just go from there, and then we like to get feedback on stuff because that's how we're going to grow.
Yes, like he was saying, the materials for these shirts, they're very soft. They don't shrink after you wash them.
No, they don't.
They're very comfortable. They're not too heavy. They're not heavy at all. They're not thick materials, so you're not going to be hot in them.
And they're not stiff too. They're not those stiff shirts where if you're working out or say you're outside or something like that, it's not going to feel tight or anything like that. When you put it on, it just feels nice. It's comfort, but it also feels nice too.
Yeah. They're good. They're good.
Yeah.
But if you want to see them, you can check them out on our Instagram.
Yeah, definitely. Just ask us. We're always willing to talk to you guys. It's really cool. Communicating with other Star Wars fans. Just see how everything goes, and we would really really appreciate if you guys check out our merch, ask us questions. And because we'll definitely be with you. We're not sketch. It's not you go to this one page where it's just there's a blank page and there's nothing there, we communicate with you.
And it's more efficient for us to do it through Instagram as to a website because it's more easy to keep up with orders and you actually see what you're getting. On a website it's kind of hard to see what you're getting. And another thing, subscribe to our YouTube because if we can hit 100 subscribers, we're going to give away one of our hoodies. You definitely don't want to miss out on that because you're not going to find these anywhere else. And if you do, it's not really going to be what you want. It's going to be a little bit overpriced. You're paying for the quality with us. You're paying for the quality and you're paying for the design. But yeah, check out our YouTube. Subscribe to that. Follow us on our Instagrams and Twitter and all that. We post. We try to do shows once a week. If you're new checking us out, if this is your first time listening, we appreciate it. If this is your last time listening, we appreciate it. So without further ado, and us trying to solicit here on Rodian Radio, just kidding, not really, but we got some Star Wars news. But before we get in the news, let's get into this. Today in Star Wars history. On this day in 2015, the first issue of the Darth Vader comics was published. So that's not even been that many. That's been 7 years ago.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. I would expect the comics to be a lot longer than that, especially one about Darth Vader. Mm-hmm. But yeah, on this day, 2015, the first edition of the Darth Vader comic was published.
And it's only going to continue to grow.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's get into the news.
I have good news for you, my lord.
Star Wars news. Now, this is probably going to take up a while of our show. You know, we've been away for 7 weeks doing the Book of Boba Fett after show, so we've not been able to drop really any good news. So, first of all, since we're still on the Boba Fett hop, the Book of Boba Fett got a 47% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
47%?
47%.
That's kind of low.
That's extremely low.
I expected, honestly, okay, there's certain parts of the show that are great and others that are bad, but that's just Star Wars in general. If you really, really think about it, not all the movies or shows are a hit. There are some episodes that are hits. There are certain parts of the episodes that are hit, but it's just sometimes, you have to, be patient, because for Star Wars, it's mostly the memorable parts. That's what we remember the most. We remember the characters. We remember the plots and the scenes, but sometimes it's really hard, especially in the Star Wars universe, to connect the dots, because sometimes the writers are not on sync with the fans. Sometimes they write their own version of Star Wars, which may or may not be what everybody wants, but that's what I guess they're trying to make a better version. Honestly, I appreciate this version of Star Wars that we had now than the sequels. The writing has significantly changed, and I'm talking to you, Jedi podcast,
Jedi Talk, Brad Hughes,
whatever,
Tom, whatever your last name is, and Evan, whatever your last name is, but specifically you, Brad Hughes.
Yeah, your nonsense has ended.
No, really though, those guys are fun. Go check them out at Jedi Talk podcast. They're really cool guys, and but yeah, Boba Fett, 47% audience rating.
But I was saying it's just I don't know, just the other guest that we had, the farm boy, he actually gave me a different perspective. I think I'm we have to start appreciating it more, because the media makes us a little bit more salty because we nitpick things. It's different when you watch something and when you rewatch something on YouTube when someone's dissecting their opinion.
Oh, come on now. If we didn't dissect Star Wars, this show would not be entertaining.
That's true. But, okay, honestly, the last episode was disappointing because I feel like they played it safe. And, there's just, instances where, I wasn't watching Boba Fett. I was watching Disney's version of Boba Fett, because Boba Fett.
I wasn't even watching Boba Fett, man. I mean, he was halfway in this episode, anyways. I
don't know. You had Halo, you had Mando, you had all these things. You could definitely tell the difference between Dave Filoni's directing and Robert Rodriguez. Robert Rodriguez can't even conclude the show when Dave Filoni, who brought in all the trilogies of different timelines, all in one episode.
Plus the comics and the games. Yeah.
And Robert Rodriguez can't finish the episode. I'm sorry, but I don't enjoy his directing. It's very messy and sloppy.
It's a big change from what we got in season 2 of Mando. His episode with Boba Fett, that was spectacular. And then you get to this, and it's this is not even the same style of directing.
I don't even know the writing. I don't know if it was his decision, but I don't know, when the dude did the 360 spin and shot, I was just oh yeah, he's there with the camera, right? He's oh yeah, they need that shot.
Yeah. Quick, do a 360 no scope.
Yeah, I don't know, the writing in this episode was very bad. It was rushed, it was and it wasn't there was no emotional attachment to Boba Fett when
what this was? This was emotional damage.
It was it was very disappointing, and
Bantha fodder.
Honestly, the Bad Batch had the same kind of thing too, but I guess they're playing the long game. The last episode of the Bad Batch was the worst finale I've ever seen.
Oh, come on now.
Next to this one,
come on now. Worse than the Rise of Skywalker. You sound like Brad Hughes, man. You sound like Brad Hughes.
I don't even talk about those movies because they're completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's move to news wise. You want to go first about it?
Yeah, that was it, and then the other. There's two more. There's some Ahsoka series news and Kenobi news, and then the rest of my news is all Hasbro or Funko Pop. So let's go into the Kenobi since we don't have a whole lot, but we did get a release date and a poster.
You were about to say trailer, and I was like,
I was about to say trailer. Everybody's about
they're
to
gonna make a clickbait on Road.
Yeah, everybody just about left their phones and went right to YouTube. But no, so Kenobi is coming out May 25th, which for you who don't know, that is the actual real Star Wars Day from 1977. That was when Star Wars was released in theaters back before it was called A New Hope. So that's pretty cool how we got to see, the first thing of Star Wars. We see Obi-Wan, and now here we are 40-something years later, and we're getting a Kenobi series dropping on Star Wars Day, May 25th. So it'll be here before you know it, and you best believe we're going to do Kenobi after shows. So, I mean, those after shows are going to be nuts.
I feel like each after show is going to be like every time we're just going to have our hands on our head and be like, oh my goodness.
But the thing is, though, I'm not sure who's like over this show. I don't think it's Jon Favreau, and I don't think it's Dave Filoni.
No, I would want Bryce Dallas Howard on it.
Definitely.
Dave Filoni has to be associated with this.
I feel like Dave Filoni's got his hands
and George
tied
Lucas.
in Ahsoka.
What if there's an episode that it's like at the end of the episode written directed by George Lucas? Like,
that would be amazing. To have George Lucas come back and direct an Obi-Wan Kenobi episode.
Yeah, that's another check for Daddy.
That's another check for Daddy. That is what that is, man. That's another check for Daddy. All right, so that's about all of it that I had for Kenobi. For Ahsoka, we got a new cast name dropped to the list. We have Ray Stevenson. For you who don't know who that is, he did the voice for Gar Saxon in the Clone Wars and Rebels. And he is casted to play an admiral, an Imperial admiral, I guess, or either I don't know if it would be Rebellion. I don't see it being Rebellion.
I don't see Rebellion either, since he already played a bad guy.
Yeah, so his character's not been named yet. I'm not sure. So I thought that was pretty cool that they actually already got a Star Wars guy to be in Star Wars, so that's cool. So that's about all the news I had for the live action stuff. Do you have anything before we move on to Hasbro?
Hasbro-wise, they are releasing GameStop exclusive Boba Fett, I think. And then they were also having the bow and arrow version of basically Darth Maul. It's like half his. It's like a repaint.
That was from, what was it, Fallen Order?
I think so.
Was that a Gaming Greats?
Yeah, it's a Gaming Greats. It's like the bow and arrow version. Like he just looks like a remake of the 35th anniversary of the Darth Maul one.
That's all. All right, so listen. That's all Hasbro does nowadays is repaint figures. That's all they do.
Yeah, and I get like production wise and everything, but like I feel like when they release figures, I'm never gonna see it. Like when you fortunately walked into Walmart and saw the wave,
breaking news, people.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. I walked into a local Walmart. Yes, Walmart. And found the entire archive wave. Kenobi, Leia, Revan, and the 501st Trooper.
And we talked smacked about Walmart not having anything.
We did. But to be fair, they were all shoved in the back of a shelf. So they were out of sight. But not for me, because that's the whole reason I go to the toy section, is to pick out boxes.
Every single day. I don't care if I'm doing groceries or something. When I'm at Target or Walmart, I check. I just gotta check.
It's just like an instinct. You have to.
Mm.
But
besides they did release like a Boba Fett one where he has like the jetpack and everything, and but that one was, I don't think that's Black Series. I think that's vintage.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, and the only one I'm excited for from the Boba Fett line is obviously Fennec Shand.
I'm still looking for that
character's really, I liked the way her head sculpt and the gun and everything, and I think that one was.
She's going for $80 right now.
80, bro. Dude,
$80.
I saw. Yeah, it's not worth it. I wouldn't pay more than 30.
I need that figure though for my collection.
Yeah, I need Fennec. I would Fennec. Actually have her in my collection.
So,
but like,
while we're talking about Black Series, a few days ago we was announced that there's a new archive wave. We have Han Solo from The Force Awakens, Chewbacca from A New Hope, Grand Moff Tarkin, and then Princess Leia in her bounty hunter outfit from Return of the Jedi. Those are the new archive waves. You can check those out on Hasbro. And they also have some pop line reveals. We have a Black Series Ayla Secura, Clone Wars Season 7 Darth Maul, and Saw Gerrera.
That's the one that's going to be good. The Darth Maul Season 7 Black Series.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I like the Ayla Secura too. I think that one will be pretty good. That's all the Black Series that I got.
What else are they releasing? Oh, right now it's rumored that the new line of like the Ahsoka Black Series from the Mandalorian is out. So is the 212, which I still think is a myth because it's a Walgreens exclusive. I've never seen that. I've only seen that figure one time, and it was at like a swap meet convention, and it was going for like $80.
Every Walgreens I go into, I'm either gonna see Constable Zuvio, First Order Finn, Jyn Erso, or Cassian Andor. That's the only Black Series figures I can ever find at Walgreens.
I remember, I think this was like 2015, 2016. I remember when I saw the General Kenobi Black Series edition in that store. Like, I saw like a bunch of Black Series.
Oh, yeah, I remember. I bought him at Walgreens too.
And they're like over 100 something now. I'm just like, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
The toy community is toxic.
It is very toxic because they can't get their hands on these figures. Like, we need to start changing. Hasbro has been lacking though. Like, I'm sorry, but like the production that they produce, like it's so random. Like when they launch, like, so how do you have a pre-order, right? And then like it's already in store,
right?
Like this doesn't make sense, but that's what it is. But
and to go back sorry to cut you off, but I just want to let everybody know that this is a pre-recording. This is not a live recording. So whenever I do a Star Wars Day in History kind of thing, it's always the day that we're recording, and the day is February 11th.
11th, yeah.
So by the time this show gets out, it's not going to be the 11th. So don't for you nitpickers, Brad Hughes, I'm talking to you over at Jedi Talk. If y'all can call us out on your show multiple times, we can do it here on Rodian Radio. But it's all in fun anyways. But if you can call it, and you nitpickers are going to be like, Chase said today on February 16th it was the Darth Vader comic. No, I did not. Today is February the 11th. Just to keep that in mind. So don't go.
Save your energy for the Jedi Talk show.
Yeah. Head over to Jedi Talk and listen to our recording with them because that episode's crazy.
Don't worry. We will stand by the real Star Wars fans.
Yes, the real Star Wars fans,
We don't
Jedi Talk, it is 5:40 Eastern Time, and The Last Jedi is still not canon to me. So yeah. All right, so to get back into some more news, that's all the Black Series and 6-inch that I had. The Vintage Collection has came out. Now, this one, I'm not really, like, this just confused me. So last year, we got a Vintage Collection release of Anakin from Episode 2. The Vintage Collection. He's in a pop line reveal to be re-released. I don't know if it's a new version of Anakin from Episode 2.
Released.
Yeah, it's Anakin from Episode 2 in the Vintage Collection. I don't understand why they would release that one when they just did it a year ago. That one confused me. But the other Vintage Collection pop line reveal that we got was a Mandalorian Commando from the Clone Wars, the Darth Maul version. So he's the red Commando. That one will look pretty cool in the Vintage Collection. Whether or not you collect the Vintage Collection or not, it's still going to be cool because it's a Maul DeLorean. So, and then the last bit of Vintage Collection news that I had was the new Hasbro Book of Boba Fett Jabba's Throne thing, and this one just confuses me too because it doesn't even come with Boba Fett. It comes with Fat Bib Fortuna, and it's it's like 2 walls, the throne, a bunch of little accessory decorations, Bib Fortuna for $229.
200. And that's without tax, people.
That's without tax. That's with no tiers added. So that's the basic starting of this thing. And I don't think it's a HasLab. So therefore, I don't know if they're going to have more tiers put into it. This is like, they're producing it and putting it out there. This is not another Rancor disaster.
Okay, what a mistake.
It is a mistake. That's way overpriced. Like, if you're paying that much for one little set with one figure that doesn't even include Boba Fett, and it's got the Book of Boba Fett tag on it, it doesn't make sense. That's like the Bad Batch vintage collection that was announced, and not one figure was the Bad Batch.
Bad Batch. Gosh, dude. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, these toy lines, like, I swear, man, I would gladly work for Hasbro. As much as we talk smack about him, I want to make a difference, like in the toy community, right?
I'm sorry to cut you off, but this I just can't wait for this. I just can't wait for this. All right. I was on Hasbro's Instagram or website, and it says clear as day, where fans come first. I was like, this is the biggest lie I've ever seen, because Hasbro cares nothing about what the fans want.
Whoever the CEO of Hasbro is.
Here we go again. This is the first episode of Roading Radio where we're back to normal, and I'm already on a rant 21 minutes into the episode.
What's his name? Rich Stoddart?
He probably is Rich.
No, his name's Rick or Rich. I don't know, but his name's Rick or Rich Stoddart. Come on, man, please.
Yeah, please. Where fans come first. What fans? Transformer? G.I. Joe? Definitely ain't Star Wars.
G.I. Joe sucks. G.I. Joe line sucks. Transformer is pretty good. The studio series is pretty good. But, I say that, I feel like this is how it's divided. It's, 75% Star Wars and, 10% G.I. Joe. And, I'm, hated on the G.I. Joes right now. All the G.I. Joe collectors what? And then, the rest is,
I don't even agree with that. I feel like it's complete opposite. 75% Transformer and G.I. Joe and 10%.
I'm
Star
talking.
Wars.
I should be more specific. I was talking in terms of what the fans want.
Oh yeah, what the fans want. Yeah, I was talking about production.
It's the other way around. Yeah, definitely.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, definitely. I think about it, man. If they release literally all they have to do is go on Reddit and the marketing team there is all right, do we have the rights? Do we have this? All right, we're good to go. Boom. Get, your Scout Trooper from the Kashyyyk. That would sell. Or,
Yeah, really. Throw that in a pop line reveal. And these archive waves.
Vintage archives trash. They're just terrible. The articulations of some of them are pretty bad. They're just mostly to be kept in the box.
And there was another wave of archive released a few days ago, and it had Skiff Guard, Lando, had Dengar, C-3PO, and Emperor
How many
Palpatine.
times am I going to see Lando?
Yeah, really. I still see him on the pegs everywhere I go, and I'm almost convinced to just buy one just to put him out of his misery.
Nope, never in a million
It is a good
years,
figure, but Hasbro never learns from their mistakes, because in early, I think maybe 2000, when the Phantom Menace came out, they did the same thing with the action figures, except it wasn't one specific action figure. Every action figure they overproduced, and they ended up losing money because not all of them sold out. And they learned from their lesson, and now Hasbro's just doing the same thing, except now it's with Landos, it's Jar Jars, it's Jyn Ersos, and stuff nobody wants. I still see Jar Jar Binks figures when I go. And
I think I would use the Jar Jar Binks figure for parts, the shield or
No, you know what that is? That's George Lucas in their ear saying, "We need more Gungans, more Gungans, more Gungans."
God,
it's another check for Daddy.
Literally, we said 2022 was a year for figures, but in reality, it's not going to be released until 2023.
I said 2022.
Excuse me. Well, I said 2023 now. I'll take but then what did they release? The Death Trooper? That doesn't come out until 2023.
Dark Trooper.
So Dark Trooper, and basically they don't come out until 2024 because be realistic, they come from the warehouse, and then I don't know, you never know how long that takes. They get lost in the Bermuda Triangle or something.
Off of Star Wars for a second, I ordered a Hot Toys back in August. and it was supposed to ship from anywhere from November to January. January 31st got here, still no update. I think it was maybe February 2nd. I got an email. Your Hot Toys order has been delayed until like September. I'm like, really? I gotta wait all this year just to get an order that I made in August? Like, I get you having to fulfill pre-orders, but if you know that something like that's going to be a big seller, I think you should put more focus into getting that one out.
Mm-hmm.
But
because then what's the point of pre-orders?
Do what?
What's the point of like pre-orders?
Yeah, what's the point of pre-orders if you're just going to delay everything? So, I don't know. I was disappointed to see that. But speaking of Hot Toys, we did get a new Book of Boba Fett version Hot Toys released. Probably won't be here till 2024.
Or like 2025 or 2026.
Yeah. At that point, we're going to already have the Book of Boba Fett Season 5 and still no Hot Toys Boba Fett from the first season.
And Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, Last Jedi, Force Awakens is still not canon.
Yeah. Hey, Jedi Talk, it is 5:47 Eastern Standard Time, and the sequels are still not my canon.
Yep.
Except for Episode 7. I like The Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
But, so that's all the Hasbro stuff that I had. Do you have anything outside of Hasbro?
I do. So Nintendo is actually making a bold move, which I think is important. So they're releasing The Force Unleashed on the Switch. I think they call it like remastered or whatever. I think it comes out like in April, and you can actually do multiplayer 1v1s with your friends or whatever. And I think that's a good move. They're also releasing the Star Wars Hunter game that's supposed to be free. I don't know when it's coming up, but it should be 2022.
Speaking of games, did you see that deleted thing about the Boba Fett free roam game that was supposed to be out years ago?
I think was it like a number like 1327 or
yeah, something like that. It was like a never produced Boba Fett game, and it was like a free roam. Mm-hmm. And he was like, the clip that I saw, he was walking around Tatooine,
Coruscant.
Stuck on Tatooine, can't get away from Tatooine. Coruscant. I think it was Coruscant because it looked.
I saw it. I think I would have played a Boba Fett game.
I would have bought it instantly, man.
Like, game developers, but it's okay. Lucasfilm has gone rights back to the Star Wars games. Thank goodness.
And that other game that they Eclipse. Star Wars Eclipse, they released a trailer for that 2 months ago, but I don't think that game's actually going to be available until like in 3 years. So that I don't understand why they would drop something like that 3 years before they're even done with production.
I don't know, maybe if it's so it doesn't become like
because
Cyberpunk.
If it's anything like the Lego Skywalker saga, it's going to get canceled and then back up and then canceled and back up and then canceled and then back up and then boom, out of nowhere, you're going to have a release date.
Another one. Lego Star Wars does come out April 5th for all platforms. I highly recommend it. I recommend it, yeah. Because Lego Star Wars games never been bad. Like, you can never go wrong with Lego Star Wars.
Yeah. And, they've got Lego has their own humor when it comes to Star Wars. It's got their own humor, and it's all canon, whether you like it or not. I'm still waiting on the live action, what was it, the Force Peacemakers or whatever that was that came out a few years ago. It's like a TV show. I can't remember what it was called, but I'm still waiting on that live action debut. And I'm still waiting on Darth Maul to get his 10 saber hilt from the Lego Star Wars.
God. Yeah, that's pretty much... what else is Star Wars related?
If you're a Funko Pop collector, this might be interesting to you. Funko announced today, February 11th, for all you people listening, a Season 2 Mandalorian Din Djarin with the Beskar Spear. I kind of like how Funko's doing bobbleheads on their pops now. And they're not just pops, they're bobblehead pops. But I kind of think that's pretty cool. But yeah.
And on top of that, they also just released like the Bad Batch wave in the pops. Like it's just like all five of them. I think it's like Echo, Crosshair.
They actually released Bad Batch figures in a Bad Batch line.
Yep, and a Funko Pop. Yep, they did it first.
Yeah, they did it first. I know a lot of vintage collection collectors and Black Series collectors, yeah, we're all at war with each other. Because, when one of them gets like a Season 7 Clone Wars Maul, then the other one's going to be like, this is not fair.
Really?
This is not fair. You're against me. Why are you doing this to me? And then, vice versa. But just give it time. The figure will be released in both scales. You just got to be patient.
And another thing, I think GameStop is also releasing like the black and yellow, basically the Echo version. It's called I don't know what it's called, but
the ARC
it's like
Trooper?
the Halloween. Yeah, the ARC Trooper. It's basically like same mold as Echo, just different colors. And I'm alright with that because it's an ARC Trooper.
I'm okay with repaints of the vintage collection because I'm more of a Black Series collector. But when you got to think about it, you can put more detail in a Black Series than you can vintage collection. When you go to repaint a Black Series figure, it's like, what's the point? It doesn't make sense. And I don't understand Hasbro's decision to put soft goods on certain figures and then certain figures it's plastic. For example, the Armorer, when she was first released, it was soft goods. Then they changed it, and now every version is plastic. That does not make sense to me. And I get it if it's cost so much money to make a little cloth good scarf, but
yeah.
I mean, come on.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, man, we got to work for one of these companies, and then we're gonna climb up the ladder, move up from the janitor position to the janitor manager position.
Okay, I have a proposal. If anybody listening to this agrees with our decisions on Hasbro stuff, help us share. Let's see, what's a good hashtag to use to get the CEO's attention to come on Rodian Radio?
Hashtag CEO Hasbro, come to Rodian Radio.
That's so basic.
Hashtag CEO Hasbro, hashtag we'll fix your mistakes, hashtag remember the Rancor.
Yeah, remember the Rancor. Let's just, I don't know, hashtag Rodian Radio knows Hasbro. Something like that. I don't know. That's
Rodian
just...
Radio... Hashtag Hasbro Savior.
Yeah, Hasbro saves, or Rodian Radio saves Hasbro. Hashtag Rodian Radio saves Hasbro. There you go. That one. That's the one. Help us share that out if you want to get the CEO on this show. Got to get his attention. You're never going to get anywhere staying quiet.
Mm-hmm.
But no, another hashtag I would like to go viral is hashtag Bantha Lives Matter. Because even in the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett, we get a flashback of a dead bantha. Come on, Dave Filoni. I know you're watching this show. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. Come on, what's the deal with the dead banthas? Come on, hashtag Bantha Lives Matter. Let's get that trending. Because I don't want to see any dead banthas in Kenobi.
Too much.
It's too much.
Yeah,
way too much.
That's about all the news that I got, from the past month or so. That's pretty much it though. From just the games and the vintage, the Black Series. We're just waiting on them to come. The 212 is still a myth. If you guys ever have a Walgreens 212, you got to show me because I'll tell you it's Photoshop.
Yeah, send us a picture through the email and I'll give you my address to send it to me.
Jeez.
So, but I'm expecting May the 4th there to be a Kenobi trailer.
Mm-hmm. Or before.
Maybe a Bad Batch Season 2. According to
Bad Batch is probably coming out after Kenobi. Literally the second after.
According to my predictions, if we don't get anything between here and May, it'll be Kenobi, maybe Bad Batch into Andor, and Mando Season 3 might be pushed to February of 2023. If they decide to put Bad Batch before Kenobi, then that would line up everything and bring Mando Season 3 back to December era. One thing is for sure that you can expect all these Disney Plus shows to start dropping on Wednesdays instead of Fridays because that's what Marvel's doing. So, and they're all the same company.
Can you hear the fan? Just want to know.
No, I can't hear anything.
Okay. That's
but
good.
Another thing is hashtag Max Rebo lives.
What's with the Max Rebos, man?
Max Rebo is the syndicate himself. I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
He's behind everything because the dude always knows when to jump out before a bomb goes off. And, go look at Robot Chicken. I mean, Max Rebo comes back in Robot Chicken. Gotta get to the gig, man. I'm pretty sure he comes out of the Sarlacc. And he's like, man, I gotta get to my next gig, man. Max Rebo.
Max Rebo, man.
Max Rebo lives. Hashtag Max Rebos lives and hashtag Bantha Lives Matter. Let's get those rolling. But before we wrap up here, final thoughts on the Book of Boba Fett. Danny?
You go first on that.
You want me to go first?
All
right. So overall, I see the season as a 9 out of 10. I liked it a lot better than The Mandalorian just because I like Boba better than Din Djarin. I felt like Boba Fett is a character that the less you know, the better his story is. I feel like the first 4 chapters were the Book of Boba Fett. The last 3 chapters were just Star Wars. Chapter 6, best episode out of the whole season. Cad Bane, live action Cad Bane. We called it on Rodian Radio.
We did.
And I also called Cad Bane was going to die. And from Boba. And so that happened. I would have liked to seen Boba do more. I felt like they had a lot of wasted opportunities. I felt like they could have replaced the mods with Dengar or Bosk or somebody like that. I felt like they had the perfect opportunity to bring Han, deliver Grogu back to Tatooine. I don't see why they didn't bring Luke Skywalker. That didn't make no sense to me. The whole droid fight. Why do they keep shooting at the droids if they know it's not going to do nothing? Like, that whole scene just felt drug out. And, Black Chrysanthemum, I wanted to see more of him. I felt like he could have completely took on all those Trandoshans by himself. I don't see why all those Trandoshans got the best of him. Rest in peace, Rocksteady and Bebop, the 2 Gamorrean guards. Those were good Gamorrean guards. I just felt like this show was rushed. I felt like 7 episodes was not enough for a show of a character as big and iconic as Boba Fett. Boba Fett will always be one of my top 3 favorite Star Wars characters. No matter what they do with him. I would have liked to see more flashbacks of Jango Fett. A reference to Mace Windu. Han Solo was a perfect opportunity to put in here because he was the whole reason Boba was in the Sarlacc pit to begin with. And we got no reference of anything of that. And I don't know, it just felt like the show was all over the place. I felt like it focused way too much on stuff that wasn't Boba Fett. And the things that it did focus on, it was all flashbacks of Tusken Boba Fett, which I loved that. I mean, I loved the lore in this season. I loved the history and the knowledge that we got to get with the Rancor and all that stuff. But I just felt like Boba Fett, I don't feel like the spotlight was on Boba Fett enough as it should have been. And I get that this show was specifically not about Boba Fett, but I mean, still, if you're going to bring back a person like Boba Fett, you need to put focus on him, whether or not it's in Mando or Ahsoka or whatever it is. But with that being said,
it's a very generous 9 out of 10.
Yeah, but with that being said, if we get Ahsoka and Luke in the Book of Boba Fett, I fully expect Boba Fett to be in Ahsoka or, even more characters from the Clone Wars that has nothing to do with Kenobi or anything being in these shows. So that's my final thoughts on the Book of Boba Fett. And, I liked it better than Mando, but there was a lot of wasted opportunities. But overall, I give it a 9 out of 10 just because it's Boba Fett.
So I honestly give it the best it could be is a 7.5 out of 10. The reason for it is because honestly, episodes 1 through 4 were about Book of Boba Fett. You have to kind of ststick through it to understand the character. I thought it was necessary to have it, even though some of them were slightly boring, or I think what was it, episode 3 that was awful.
Oh yeah, that was Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, of course.
We got the famous, or should I say infamous, Skittle Gang.
and like episode 5, like because like I remember like when the show like first 4 episodes, people were saying like this show is like terrible, like all these things, and when Mando shows up, everybody forgets about that. And then like when I saw Mando, I liked the whole episode, the whole arc, and I'm like this, like at this point, it's Star Wars, you know, like the Book of Boba Fett is over. Now it's like Star Wars. And then I thought that was great when they added like, you know, meaning to it. Like it's basically like Mando with sub Boba Fett, you know, like is this like
Yeah.
the thing. And then what I didn't like about what they did with the character with Boba Fett is that I've always saw him as a brutal like bounty hunter or an individual, because I think in the comics or whatever, like he, like I said, like he 1v1 Darth Vader and he walked away alive, which
So
I
did
consider
Kira.
yeah, like
Another wasted opportunity.
like Boba Fett is like shoot first and ask questions because he just wants to get paid. But then like I guess they gave him like he's kind of like a server. Like he just takes orders from like his like Power Ranger gang and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not like, I get he wants to be a wise leader, but at the same time, like you have to make your own decisions. Boba Fett did not make any decision himself. Like besides like quitting on the bounty hunting career, like he did nothing with it. Like Boba Fett should be a brutal character where he says it goes. Like you don't need to be ruled with respect. You need to be ruled with like
Fear.
yeah, in a way, but like respect.
Not like fear as in like just all around.
The reason why that ideal didn't work is because 1, he was on Tatooine. 2, it's the underworld. You're not going to rule with respect. You're going to rule with power. And 3, it's like you have to show no sign of weakness. Boba Fett showed too many signs of weaknesses, and Cad Bane literally called it out. That's the only thing that I would give Robert Rodriguez credit for, is that like Cad Bane was basically insulting Boba Fett. I like Boba Fett. He's not my top 3, but as a character himself, he didn't live up to the standards. I like I'm talking about the character specifically. Like there are episodes that were great, like episode 6, where literally Dave Filoni, like the Messiah himself, like circled all the Star Wars movies and shows or whatever in one episode, compared to Robert Rodriguez, who can't even finish a finale. I thought it was sloppy. It was like terrible, because like it ended like with Boba like and his friends high-fiving and everything. Like that's not like, that's playing it safe, dude. That's Disney Star Wars talking right there.
Yeah, that's you know, Jedi talk. It's 6:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Disney sequels are still not my canon. And, like, you know, the end of this season kind of felt like sequel Star Wars.
Pointless. But, like, overall, like, Boba Fett deserved more. Like, there was more potential, and they just wasted it. Like, I feel like if Dave Filoni was in charge of all these episodes, it would have been a whole different story. Because if he could change it with one episode, you know, like, it's a game changer. Like, I'm not trying to be, like, a salty hater, but I'm just saying, like, it just, like, we wanted to see more of the character, but like they kind of like restrained him.
Yeah.
And like there were certain lines that he said that was not Boba Fett. Like, you know what Boba Fett would say. Like they gave him a lot of dialogue. I get it's his show, but like he's not a guy that like speaks. Yeah. He's a man of very few words. Yeah. And then there is a way of directing that, because it's all with like visuals, you know, like his helmet is very intimidating. His armor is super like well known. You know, like you don't like, you can make a scene powerful without saying one word, and if they can't do that, then that's just terrible directing.
Yeah, for example, like in Return of the Jedi, when Leia shows up and she detonates the thermal detonator, Boba Fett was so quick to react. Yeah, so quick to react. And then the subtle him just dropping his blaster and giving the head nod, like that right there spoke more to me than Boba Fett taking Fennec Shand to get mechanical guts. Like, what? Come on. Like, and I get it's George Lucas and now it's Disney, but still, I don't know. I just felt like it was very rushed.
Yeah, it could have been better, but it wasn't. And like even Dave Filoni couldn't, like, I feel like they just fumbled it at the 1-yard line the last episode. They could have ended it like pretty well, but
Dave Filoni literally took them all the way to the end zone, and Robert Rodriguez threw the interception.
Yep, he literally You understand? I think fumbled is worse because like he literally had it and then he just butterfingers
Drop it.
Yep. That's literally how I would wrap it up. That's all I pretty much have to say about Book of Boba Fett. Like, if you do want to watch it, go ahead. It is a good Star Wars show, but it's not a good Boba Fett show, if you understand what I'm saying. Like,
thank the Maker. I am C-3PO Human Cyborg Relations, and you're listening to Rodian Radio. From our galaxy to yours.
Alright, so wrapping this show up real quick. The more I see Din Djarin on screen, the less I'm becoming a big fan of Mando. Don't get me wrong, I love The Mandalorian as a show and as a character. One thing that concerns me in Mando Season 3 is we're going to see a lot of Grogu using the Force to put things to sleep or to break things. And I feel like they already did it twice in this episode of the finale of Book of Boba Fett. I just feel like that's going to be a repeating pattern for Grogu. Another thing is Mando himself, Din Djarin, is the most stupidest Star Wars character I've ever seen. He has no common sense, and like he's completely oblivious that he's in Star Wars. For example, when they're fighting the big Scorpionic incinerator droids, the dude just throws his flamethrower out there. Like, hey, blaster bolts don't do nothing. What about this flamethrower that's not going to do nothing? Like, it's just dumb. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. But that's about all that I had to talk about for tonight's episode of Rodian Radio. If you're listening this, wherever you're listening to this, if you know where you are, if you're listening to this, I hope you do. But thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in with us. If this is your first time listening or your last time listening, we appreciate all the support. Again, you can find us on our social medias on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube. Please leave us feedbacks. Leave us a review on your podcast of choice if it allows you. Make them good. Don't give us these are the most nitpickingest Star Wars fans I've ever seen. Don't leave us none of that. Because we're going to read your comments on the air. We're going to read them because I love doing that. I love seeing everybody's opinions about our show. Really thankful for how our show's been growing. We've been getting a lot of more attention through our channel. We really appreciate that. If you want to check out our merchandise, like we said in the first 5 minutes of the episode, you can go see all that on Instagram. Send us an email at rodianradiopc@gmail.com. Got anything else you want to add before we head out of here?
Yeah, so like, oh my goodness. So with my personal Instagram, DCRZboy_photos.
Boy, B-O-I, boy.
B-O-I. I'm starting to, even on TikTok, like I'm starting to do more like wallpaper photos. Because that's what, I did a survey the other day and that's what people requested. So I'm going to start doing those. But I still kind of want to tell a story at the same time. I'm mainly going to focus on doing maybe like after this set I have, I'm mainly going to be doing like one set of photos per month or like maybe like one or two just to like give you better quality because I feel like quantity isn't the same as quality because I want to give you guys the best content that I can give you and like you also give me feedback and grow. And if you can expand and like share it with your friends, give all that comments, I do appreciate that. You could also check out Chase. He does really, really well with his photography as well. Like I like his Scorpion, I think is really good. Like he does all these the Darth Vader ones. It's excellent, like it helps us to expand. And this is where we started too. We started off on toy photography, people.
Thank you, sir.
And we're over here talking with like Ray Kennix and like Michael from ICC and like we're gonna have like future guests in the future. Like we're slowly growing, but it's progressing towards a more better future.
And it's all thanks to you listeners because if we wasn't growing, if you wasn't helping us grow, we would not be able to bring this content for you.
Exactly. Yep. Like I know sometimes like Chase and I have different opinions, but yet again we still like agree on like what needs to be fixed. Like I feel like mostly I'm a little bit more nitpicky because I'm like I have a certain expectation for Star Wars because of what they were able to produce, and like I like to critique things from like a film, like a fan film perspective. Like, does it make sense? Does it flow? Like if I think the key of Star Wars is if somebody who's never seen Star Wars watches an episode of Star Wars and it makes sense, then they did a great job.
Yeah, but if you've never seen Star Wars and you start off with the sequels, Jedi Talk, you know, you're probably not going to be that interested in it.
Yeah, you're going to need to get the Men in Black stick thing, and like, you know, where we're going to wear the shades and we're going to completely erase them.
Look right here. No, but for real though, like I work with a guy that's never seen Star Wars, and and he's been talking to me about it, and I'm like, dude, if you want to get into Star Wars, start off with The Mandalorian. If that does not get you interested in Star Wars, then there's no point in you watching the movies. But I feel like if you watch The Mandalorian and you feel like you like it, then you go watch the movies. Because if you just start off with the movies, as much as I love The Phantom Menace, it is kind of a slow movie.
Yeah, it's literally like 90%.
Yeah, there was not enough Gungans.
And then like the last 10% of that. See, that's what I'm talking about. Star Wars is about the memorable moments. Like, what do you remember from The Phantom Menace? Like, the fight scene at the end.
Qui-Gon.
Why? They have Qui-Gon too. Like,
yippee!
The Jesus version of Star Wars. You know, like, and then in the second one, what do you remember? The fight with Dooku. You know, like all the stuff builds up to like a conflict. You know, like the good and the bad. That's what Star Wars is about. Like, who put it better than George Lucas? It's like poetry. You know?
Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni.
Him too. That guy is something special. Like the day he produces a Star Wars movie or like has like control over, I know it's gonna be great. I'm gonna blow my mind.
The day he releases a Star Wars film,
and it's the Clone Wars, like Clone Wars.
You best believe I'm scheduling a vacation for that whole week. I'm gonna sleep the whole day and do nothing but watch that movie 10 times in a row because I know it's going to be everything Star Wars that I've ever wanted to see.
Mm-hmm. Dave Filoni gets it.
And
that dude came from like the last
Jon
Airbender.
Favreau gets it too. I mean, he's the writer for all this stuff. He gets it too.
Yeah.
He gets it too.
It started with 2 and hopefully it expands. Maybe there's some people behind the scenes who have their own opinions. Obviously not Robert Rodriguez, who I think is a terrible TV show director.
Well, we've done nothing but bash Robert Rodriguez this whole...
Yeah, like he had 3 chances and then like he kind of blew it. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, it's disappointing. Like,
yeah,
didn't he do the one with like Boba was introduced with the armor and he like started beating like the stormtroopers?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, what happened to that? That is Boba Fett. Even though he looked, you know, a little big for his size, like then, but it was Boba Fett. Like, that's Boba. That's cool.
Yeah, and if you haven't checked out our Book of Boba Fett after shows, definitely go back and watch those if you're interested in us breaking down each episode. I know, for example, when Chapter 5 came out, I woke up to a text message from Danny that said, "I hate this show. I'm done with this show. This show's awful." And then I watched the episode, and I'm like, "Danny, how could you not like this episode? This is amazing." He's like, "I'm just totally joking with you." So the next time I hear anything like that from an episode that I have not seen yet, and I wake up to a message, I know that it's going to be one of the best Star Wars that I ever seen.
Yep.
But, so other than that, that's about all I had. We really appreciate everyone checking us out and listening to us. If you want to meet me and possibly Danny, we will be at ICCCon in Nashville, Tennessee this April 29th through May the 1st. We will only be there Friday and Saturday. We're there to, do our thing, and hopefully we'll come back with a lot of, good content for everybody, especially celebrities. And speaking of celebrities, we have a special celebrity guest lined up to come on the show. You don't want to miss that. I'll give you a little tip. I don't want to reveal who it is just yet, but he was a celebrity actor on The Mandalorian Season 1. And no, it's not Pedro Pascal. So until next time, this has been Rodian Radio. I'm your host, Chase.
This is Danny.
And may the Force be with you on Rodian Radio.
Hold it right there. Why haven't you subscribed to Rodian Radio? Go do it now. That's an order.
for Daddy.